That was almost unbelievable. That was almost unbelievable. That was almost absolutely unbelievable. But all I'm going to say is Dallas fans were right about Natasha Howard. Oh my God. That is potentially the worst game I've ever seen a player play. 0 for 4 from the free throw line. All in the clutch. All free throws that mattered. 0 for 4. Missed an easy bunny. An easy bunny for a game winner. And then the ball got hit to her for mid. And looked like she shot the ball with two hands. And bricked the midi. Aaliyah going 1 or 2 from the line. But you don't question anything with Aaliyah. She was exceptional. Aaliyah was exceptional in this game. Kelsey was exceptional. Caitlin was exceptional. I don't know what inbounds play they ran. Whatever inbounds play they ran. Whatever inbounds play they decided to run. I'm going to be honest. Whatever inbounds play they decided to run was the worst inbounds play I've ever seen. The only pass that was on was Caitlin Clark throwing a inch perfect pass to Natasha Howard. And Natasha Howard goes in, gets blocked on a hook shot, gets it again, has a layup, misses the layup, the ball gets landed into her, and she misses a wide open midi. She missed 3. She missed 3 chances to win that game. DeWanna Bonner with 0 points and minus 19 in a 1-point loss. But you know what? It's a long regular season. It's a long season. I don't know why Caitlin Clark was inbounding the ball at the end, but you know what? She was going to be used as a decoy. And honestly, the Fever down the stretch, they lost it from the free throw line. They lost this game from the free throw line. They're 1-1 in the regular season. It is what it is. Look, the only thing I will say is that you learn a lot. And if you guys agree that it's not the end of the world, subscribe. We are trying to hit 46.3k by the end of the day. If we could do it, that would be insane. And for anyone in the stream or watching the video, if we could get 1,000 likes, that would be absolutely fantastic. But again, this is my raw reactions to this. I just think I'm not going to lie, this was a coaching disaster class from Stephanie White. But I don't care about a coaching disaster class in game 2. I don't care. Natasha Howard currently is on a 9 miss free throw from the free throw line. She has missed 9 straight free throws. 9 straight. And she's in the game on the last play for God knows what reason. Because I would have just played Hack-a-Shack on her. I don't know why she's in the game last play. And look, not her game. Look, I think Natasha Howard she's going to be a player. I think she's going to be a player. I thought she was good against Chicago. But like when you have 6 points, 4 turnovers, 4 fouls, and go 0 for 4 from the free throw line, and on those free throws she missed some open layups. But the one really, really positive thing was the big 3. All 3 of them. They carried the Fever. Aaliyah, that's as good a game as I've seen for Aaliyah Boston. It's as good a game as I've seen for Aaliyah. For the Fever, genuinely. I think she played as good a game as she's played. Kelsey Mitchell was fantastic. 9 of 15 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Hit a massive 3-point shot late. Caitlin Clark was... Look, she set a record. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, she has set the record for 25 and 10 and most 20 and 10 games. They said that Courtney Vandersloot set the record... Courtney Vandersloot set the record for most 20 and 10 games in 430 games. Caitlin Clark has now tied her in 42 games with a 27 and 11 game. And look, I think a big problem is that Bree Turner can't score layups. I don't understand why. Michaela Timpson's not in over Bree Turner. I don't see any reason why she's not getting burned. Like, with how bad Bree Turner's been. However, this is not a good matchup for Indiana. Ryan Howard came up clutch. She hit 3. Ryan Howard, if you look at her field goal or like shooting percentages and you look at her box score, you're like, oh, she was just chucking. Ryan Howard hit the most timely shots in every scenario. They shot a seriously high percentage from the free throw line. Well, not even seriously high percentage, just not embarrassingly bad percentage from the free throw line. And the two bigs. The double bigs is hard to guard. And I thought Aaliyah did a really good job. Guarding the bigs. I thought Alicia Gray had an off game. And look, they played an Atlanta Dream team on an off shooting night and still lost. But look, the Fever were so flat until about 6 minutes to go. It would have been highway robbery. It would have been highway robbery had the Fever won that game. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Fever did not deserve to win that game. The Fever didn't deserve to win that game. And the only one thing that I will say is I have a weird feeling that Stephanie White is using... I'm going to talk about this in a lot more depth. I think Stephanie White is using the early regular season to just feel it out. She's using the early regular season to see what's going to happen, to try to figure out the team, figure out what works and what doesn't. It's very clear what does not work is decoy Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark ran decoy for the entire third quarter. And wow, the Fever scored 23 in the third. But like, Caitlin Clark had, if I'm not mistaken, 1 assist and 2 points in the third quarter. She took like 2 shots. Like, she ran decoy for the whole third quarter. She didn't run off the ball. She ran decoy. The ball would be swung to one side of the floor, and she would run and start setting off-ball screens and just run to the corner. She was making decoy cuts. She wasn't even, like, there's no coach that's dumb enough to have Caitlin Clark have a first half, other than Christy Sides, there is no coach dumb enough to have Caitlin Clark have 16, 7, and 5 in the first half, and then tell her to run decoy for an entire quarter. Like, she didn't, like, it wasn't even off the ball play. She ran decoy. So, look, I think, and then she took over in the fourth. I think they're trying stuff out in the regular season. I think they didn't have enough, and maybe I'm just overthinking this, but like, I don't think that Stephanie White threw the game, but I think Stephanie White genuinely, I think she lost them the game. I don't know if it was intentional or not. Stephanie White 100% lost Indiana Fever that game. From that end line play, just everything. The ATOs were poor. Rotations were poor. A lot of stuff were really, really poor. And people saying Natasha Howard took the clutch shot. She wasn't meant to take that shot. No, everyone just ran into each other. They literally overplayed the screen and no one knew what to do. But look, there were 3.5 players that showed. Lexi Hull showed up. There were 4 players that showed up for the Indiana Fever. Lexi Hull, Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Leah Boston. And it's the 4 from last time. It's the 4 from last year that showed up. Only 4 players showed up. And look, like, laid up, down the stretch, Caitlin Clark, they're down 10, back-to-back threes, really set them back in. And look, this was a game where if you look at the team comparison, if you watch this game, the better team won. The better team won the game. The Dream deserved to win. Like, you have to sometimes give credit to the other team. You have to be honest at times. The Atlanta Dream deserved to win that game. Like, I don't think there's a question about that. But there were spells where I'm like, the Indiana Fever just didn't look like they wanted to be there. And it's nothing to do with what's going on after the game. It's nothing really to do with what's going on outside the court. Because it's clear the energy, once it picked up, they were fine. They were flat. They were so flat. And that's all of them. Every single player on this team for a decent chunk of this game was flat. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this game. Like, I'll watch back on it later. I'm going to watch back on it later, and then obviously there will be a video. I'll make a video breaking down the entire game. So I'm going to wake up in the morning. Like, it's 2:30 in the morning. I'm going to wake up. You know what? I'm actually like hyped enough that I might just watch it tonight. I might just go and watch the game tonight and then go to sleep. But it was a really good performance from their core four from last year. Every single player they brought in. And Dantas is just not with it yet. Like, I think with Dantas, she's just not there sharpness wise. I think she'll get it. She'll get it down. She will get it down. I think she'll be fine. Like, but yeah, I think that the Indiana Fever it's just not a good matchup for them. They tried out a lot of new things and maybe they didn't get a chance to try out in preseason. And look, it was a game that everything went wrong and it was a 1-point game. And that's kind of sign of a good team when you can have a bad game like this and you can still be one possession away from winning. You can still be winning going into the last possession. And like that is that's the thing. And look, it's a long regular season. The Fever are never going to go 44-0. And I said it coming into this game, if the Fever split the series against the Dream, that's what they should look to do. Like, winning the 2 games would have been great. Going 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 would be great. But if you're the Fever, you want to split that because you're then playing against the Liberty and you don't want to potentially go start off the season 1-3. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to start the season. You don't want to start the season losing. You don't want to get used to losing. But look, the Atlanta Dream are an extremely tough team. They're a really tough team. They shot the ball much better today than they did against the Mystics. And look, Natasha Howard did not play like a high-level WNBA player today. She didn't play like a WNBA player at all. DeWanna Bonner, I don't know. DeWanna Bonner was just non-existent. She was just non-existent. But the only positive thing is that Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark, and Leah Boston, with nothing else, nearly beat a pretty good team who played okay. Like, the Dream played well. The Dream are good. The Dream are genuinely good. I don't care if they lost to the Mystics. The Dream are good. Like, the loss today, someone said it changes everything. It changes nothing. It's just everything that could go wrong did go wrong. They lost by 1. It happens. Teams are going to lose games. The Aces got pummeled by the Liberty. We've seen we're going to be watching teams like losing bad games. Heck, the Dallas Wings beat the Aces last year. Like, you just never know. You just never know what's going to happen. But look, not a good game for the Fever. A really bad game for the Fever overall. I really need to rewatch the game to see why it looked so bad. But I just have this weird feeling that not the Stephanie White threw the game, but they could have won the game. Like, why Caitlin Clark is being ran decoy at the end of a game? Like, what are we? Like, we're having her inbound to play, and I understand sometimes you get it back, but like, we saw it last year. She did not once get it back. She didn't once get it back down a stretch last year. So, yeah, it's harder to get the ball to her when the ball's in than off an inbound. But look, at the end of the day, we got to just keep it a little bit calm. We got to talk about the game, and we got to, like, look at it in its totality. The Fever are fine. They're going to be fine. They're going to do well this season. Don't really care what people are saying. They're going to be fine. They're fine.